start getting into the game here. We're starting off with flippers down with walrus boots. I love that gamer tag. Immediately pushing over to green, trying to chase down this player with the QT. Gets the stick. Helps his teammate Fragmatism over there at pillar door. Fragmatism goes down, but walrus boots still alive, trying to pick up this kill on Concise.
Certainly, both teams starting to interesting move, trying to go towards B, but having icy. I'm just gonna say icy, with the sniper, and I also believe that Centennials did grab on to the camo. Let me just double check. Maybe I think the camo actually went down, but just early control of the power weapons is gonna help gain control of at least some quality positions.
Absolutely, it is. And that early camo control is what both those teams were playing for. I believe it got burnt, and now Flipper's down, gets the slays out. They're starting to pick up some time. Back on board with Walrus Boots. I cannot get enough of that gamer tag, though, but let's see if he can lay the pain down on Centennials. He's over at Cuts, but he's got two players in front of him. Let's see what he can do here. Fights the one player at Camo, takes down Neonic. Very nice, and looks like his teammates came and took care of that second player, so not only stayed alive, but looks like they're going to be able to pick up a little bit of scrap time as well.
Just a little
Now,
bit.
Walrus Boots continue the domination, picking up the kill on Icy, I believe he said his name was.
I'm
Takes
going
down the
with
snipe.
icy.
That's what I'm seeing too. Not only killing the snipe, but also getting some ball time on the board for his team. Now on board Neonic from Centennials.
Certainly does.
These two players at dummies. Caster's Curse comes in, takes him down. I believe you were about to say something, War Eagle.
Oh no,
What were
you're
you gonna
good.
say?
You're good. You can take it over.
That's all good. But Concise now for Centennials, pushing in, not pushing immediately though, trying to wait for his team, but gets caught out by Zombie from Flippers Down, who also finds the sniper rifle. But as he's doing that, two players from Centennials push in through the back of A. They've killed off the ball carrier. Now they're going to start getting some ball time. They kill Walrus Boots with the camo. Take down the sniper. Icy does, shooting around the waist of his teammate. That was kind of crazy to see. Trying to tell him, I guess, where that sniper rifle is, but they don't find it. And somebody was watching this teleporter. The fact that he got away there is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I liked the moves that Flippers Down were making up to the point where the ball carrier did not throw the ball towards scoreboard itself. It was able to give a proper opportunity for Centennials to grab on, take the ball, and get some points on the field. But immediately, Flippers Down being able to recognize when it was time to push in and isolate them and take them out. And I think that was really good turnaround from them, despite the mistake early made.
Absolutely, and sometimes you'll do something thinking that is the right play in the moment. Sometimes you'll do something by pure accident or just straight up mistake. And what really will define you is not how many mistakes you make. Everybody's going to make them at one point or another, or have some technical misstep. It comes down to how you play through those mistakes. What do you do to get around them and deal with them?
Yeah, certainly it's not just the how you're able to play, but the ability to wrap around and being able to when adversity hits you, how you're able to come back, and that's how a team is able to be decided as a quality team or not. Like, that's just the objective truth. If you were hit with an unfortunate situation, can you easily flip back and be able to do this? And Centennials, even though they were down over 40 plus, have been able to tie it just now, and that shows strong teamwork right there.
Absolutely, and like you were saying earlier, both of these rosters have played together through multiple rec league seasons, virtually unchanged. They know each other. They know their business. They know what they're about. They're not going to just keel over and die the instant something doesn't go quite the way that they were expecting. And that's a big part of why Centennials has brought this back, as Fragmatism decided, I'm just going to watch that teleporter, see if someone comes through and gets rewarded for it. Trying to snipe through the walls, though. This isn't Counter-Strike. You can't shoot through the walls like that. But right now, Pragmatism, I don't quite like the position down at bottom middle with the sniper rifle. That power weapon, I would have rather him gone up to a place with better sight lines, tried to find Centennials players to take out, and not worried as much about the ball. There's still a fair amount of time on the game clock. There's no need for him to. The score's not close enough for him to be sort of watching the ball like a hawk the way he was.
A little bit of desperation coming out of Flippers down Flippers down right now as they're just running in one-on-one. That's not what you need. You have another at least 20-odd seconds remaining. You need to be consistent and concise with the movements. You cannot... I love the fact that there is a guy named Concise on the team. Thank you for making my words seem all weird now. So, you cannot allow desperation to come and hit you until at least 90. 95 at the absolute latest. But even then, you cannot allow desperation to take your movements and to be able to isolate and defeat you. That's just how you're going to lose a game.
Absolutely, it is. Flippers down is getting some scrap time out of this, but oh dear, Icy with the very unfortunate self-nade there as Zombie is holding the ball, accidentally falls off with her, perhaps intentionally. I would have said just play it and keep on fighting in that situation, but I get it. Sometimes you're trying to eke out as much time as possible, and that is a valid play. Icy back on deck, though, with the sniper rifle, sees the ball, gets the shot, nicely done. And although the lead is not that much, you might see Centennials here kind of play this round for time. They might extend the lead a little bit more, but it's possible they might just play this for time and try and run down that game clock. But I would say what they're doing here is exactly right. Be ready to play for time, but be ready to also try and get the win based off of just the ball hold. And there we go. Centennials takes round number 1 with Neonic leading the pack 64 points of ball time.
That is an incredible amount, and it is goes to credit to Centennials. They're down 45-15, and they're able to turn it around and force Flippers down into a desperate situation where they're struggling to be able to respond in kind. They're kind of rushing 1v1. They're not getting the power weapons, and just they got punished for it. That was as simple as that.
That's always a good position to be in, where you're forcing the other team to react. You're forcing them to not do some carefully considered, textbook push. You're forcing them to just immediately move as fast as they possibly can. Speaking of immediately moving, I wonder if Centennials was able to get away with the camo, if they were able to make it away with that. It looks like not, but I did see one that had sniper rifle. We might be able to hop on to them. Yeah, there we go. Icy with, again, the bottom mid snipe plays. I don't quite get it unless you hit shots like that. But Limbo, I guess that camo did not get actually popped. It was just picked up. It's Limbo now for Flippers down with camo snipe. But that position right there with those frags, that'll mess your entire day up. I don't quite agree with that. I want to see him trying to spot out, now that his camo's run out, try and spot out the players from Centennials and just pick up whatever kills that he can with his sliver of health.
Yeah,
but
if I'm Centennials, I get it out of here. I start moving it towards tower, towards B, because the utility of being able to throw the ball off the map is just so powerful. Especially if you're able to take out 1 or 2 and you're starting getting overwhelmed by that point. I really don't like holding it personally. Now that could just be me being a platinum player saying that, and I may be really dumb, but I genuinely do not like holding it in window at all.
Oh yeah, I get the argument there. The thing to do would be to try and play the ball out towards camo, to try and throw it out into that sort of no man's land, or if possible, if you're starting to get some serious pressure, maybe try and rotate it towards green and get a little bit of time as you're doing it. Speaking of time, this has been Flippers Down's round this whole time that sorry for the alliteration, but they are 60-1, and Centennials, they're trying to get this camouflage, but it doesn't look like they were successful. Zombie from Flippers Down picks it up, ends up dying to the caster's curse, but Centennials, they've come back before, but this is a much bigger lead for Flippers Down. And I wonder if they know Fragmentism is coming from behind from A, and that's going to be a big disruption to their setup as he picks up one kill, goes for a second on small window, gets the double. Hate to see that.
Yeah, I agree with what you were saying previously about like this being a significantly different type of scenarios, and that is that Flippers Down has just been just absolutely giving no pressure to Centennials this entire round. They have not allowed them any breathing room, any positioning time, and you're seeing it especially when it came to that miss for the camo, because they had the quantum whatever, I can't remember what that power up is called.
The quantum translocator,
Yeah,
the QT.
The QT. He wanted to go grab it, but then wasn't able to and had to immediately jump out. And that's how the pressure has been like absolutely denying the ability of Centennials to get any significant plays done.
Absolutely, and although, yes, Centennials, if they grab hold of the ball, they can, of course, come back here. There's not a whole lot of time left on the game clock, and we've just passed the 80-point mark. Centennials has perhaps one more good push where they've got to get everybody over that ball as fast as possible. And even though they get this, they're in a tough spot. They cannot afford any kind of getting average. They can't afford any kind of mistake where Flippers Down might be able to play the ball out. Centennials kind of now is in a position where they're going to be forced to try and keep this ball on the map at all costs. They cannot really afford at this point to like say, oh, we'll just play the ball. No, they can possibly get outslayed for that. And if they do, then even if they play the ball, it won't matter because Flippers Down will be right there to pick the ball right back up.
Yeah.
And Zombie here staying alive at camouflage. A little bit too little, too late from Centennials. Going to a round 3.
It just seemed like that first round was just Flippers Down, just waking up. You know, they got averaged for a little bit of time, and then set round 2, it was just we controlled everything that's going on. We are dominating this field. There's nothing you can do about it, and it just punished the entirety of Centennials. So they really got to work on regaining that momentum, regaining the initiative, actually. That's what I'm going to say. It's initiative. Because you're able to make the plays, decide where you're going to attack and strike. And if you're unable to do that, 9 times out of 10, you're losing the game.
That is absolutely correct. Initiative, it matters. You know, you can have a big lead, but if you lose the initiative, that big lead can disappear faster than anybody really cares to admit. And losing those big 1v1s like that, or that dictionary definition of being average, that can mess with your mental a little bit, both yours and your team's. It also lets Flippers Down now get back into this. I guess this is their preferred setup over in A and small window. Now we're back on board with Neonic from Centennials. Goes down at back green. Zombie holding things down. Gets an assist from the hands of Walrus Boots, who Walrus Boots, by the way, is leading the lobby with 36 and 25. So he's going off 37 actually, and going for 38. Doesn't get it, but hey, that's okay. Walrus Boots having a good time. He's showing who wears the big shoes in this house.
I mean, statistically speaking, yeah, Walrus Boots does have the highest, but it's also the teammates. All of them have a minimum of 14 assists, if not more. So they've been coordinated, they've been working together throughout all of this, and you're seeing a good amount of that as well on the sides of Centennials, but you're also not seeing their effectiveness as much, because if they were very effective assists, you'd absolutely be seeing more points on the board than 5. I think realistically, though, Actually, Flippers Down is smart holding at this position because it's pushing them in. It's pushing Centennials into a significant disadvantage. It takes them time to move forward, and because of how far Flippers Down is like away from the ball itself, they've been able to like fight them on even terms rather than being pressed in against their own carrier.
Absolutely. That dovetails nicely. If you look at sort of the straight numbers, uh, Centennials is keeping about even as far as the plays go, and they do have, I believe, more assists overall, but not by much. But like you said, the choice of Flippers Down to hold that ball at A. The result of that, as Icy picks up a very nice headshot there, the end result of it is that Centennials is constantly having, like you said, to push and overextend to get to that ball, to get really anywhere close to it. And even now with Centennials, they've got the ball in hand, they're getting some more time on the board. But again, because of the slaying differential, because of the way that Flippers Down has been playing the spawns, Centennials is constantly having to overextend just to get to their team, but it looks like they may have broken through just enough. They've brought the score to 46 to 45 with that nice little hold at C Tower. Zombie is now top middle, staring down the ball, trying to spot out the Centennials players, but the only thing he spots is a grenade to the face. Picks up 1 kill in Rat Tunnel, and Centennials goes 3 down. Concise, the last member alive.
Now maybe Flippers Down has heard what we've been saying and said, okay, we'll just hold it at tower too. Maybe we'll just make War Eagle eat his own words, as he always tends to do on streams. And, you know, oh, we were holding at window, maybe we're holding at tower the entire time. As they've hit the 70, almost 75 mark, and it has just been individual movements from Centennials that gets absolutely stopped by the entirety of Flippers Down.
It has, and hey, it's okay. The fly on the wall technology always defeats the casters, but Centennials, the thing that's kind of ruining it here is simply they're pushing a little more individually. They weren't able to break the Flippers Down setup in a meaningful way. That's how it went from 46 to 45, just it feels like a second ago, to where we're at now. Flippers Down did a very good job of flipping the map and coming through on some of those long flanks that I personally don't like, but when they are executed right, they are a devil to deal with, and that's going to net them the win. Flippers Down taking game number 1, 2-1.
I mean, we did.
Indeed it is, and we're back into the game now with Walrus Boots once again. Currently 0-0. Both teams kind of sniped at each other a little bit to start that off, but no team has picked up a kill as of yet. Here we have Slimbo going down, so does Walrus Boots. They're trying for the flank, but the flank has failed as Flygen, if I'm saying his name right, and if I'm not, I apologize, but Flygen picking up the triple kill, and Centennials in control of the Stalker rifle as well. That's a big power weapon on this map. That 3-shot kill, if you're able to hit your shots very well, that's an awesome thing to do as we hop on board with Neonic, who's trying to get the stick here in Arcade, but goes down. Walrus Boots roaring back with a vengeance, picks up 3 kills, and just as quickly, that lead went to just a 1-point difference in favor of Centennials. We now have 2 players stuck out in the front of C, one pushing Commando to take down Concise. Flygen answering right back, keeping that slim 1-point lead. 2 points now that Neonic has gotten. You know,
Sometimes
it's happening to
better
me
not
too.
even point it out because as soon as you say it, something's gonna happen off screen. I know 343 is never gonna hear this, but I beg of them to add like some sort of observer map that I can see like on my end. So specifically, I don't have to worry about like missing like 50% of all the kills. I beg of them. It is like probably one of the hardest things as an observer is just not being able to see all the sightlines and everything. But early game, you saw that arrogance, or not, I wouldn't say arrogance, it's more of just the overconfidence hit in for Flippers down. They were all taken down for the 0-4. Now it's getting close to being tied, and teams are starting to slowly acclimate into what they've been. A little bit of a mishap, holding in C. Yeah, that's C. Just hiding in there and allowing Flippers down to be able to regain momentum on their end. And now they've lost a lead because of it.
That they have, and up 3 now for Flippers down as we hop on board with Slimbo, extending it to a 4-kill lead, looking for 5th kill lead as well at Commando. Does he see getting the call they went down driveway? It doesn't matter though. Flygen comes in. Lead's now cut down to 2, and Flippers down is currently stuck inside a C. Surprised though that Icy's not picking up the shotgun. I would have said, hey, let's pick up the shotgun. Let's get into the enemy base, or at least to just control the power weapon. Instead, Icy is still soaring around A, trying to find members of Flippers down. This one, but here comes Zombie up Purple Street. Let's see if you're able to pick anything up, and he isn't. Great team shot out of Centennials to keep that flank from turning nasty, as the score is now tied 21-21, and Flippers down is currently split up pretty hard. You have 2 players over in Arcade, and there were 2 players pushing out from C to Purple Street.
Yeah,
and this
the 2-2 push was kind of interesting. Maybe they just decided, figure out where they were. Actually, it did work in their... Oh, no, it didn't work in their advantage. Sorry, I got confused by the colors for a second. But, probably just, like, they didn't have information, so they're like, okay, we can make a push at the same exact time, we can kind of divide and conquer strategy. Didn't work at the end of the day, as the people moving from purple got instantly just annihilated. Or one of them got annihilated, and then just wasn't able to produce that much firepower overall. And it is just a close game, though. Like, Centennials may be down, but they're certainly not out for the count.
They are not, but it looked like Flippers down was able to get away with the camouflage. I wonder if we can flip through them real quick, see if one of them did. It looks like not. Maybe it got burnt, or maybe it's still down there at bottom middle. But in the midst of us talking about that, Flippers down has regained the lead, extended it to 5. We're now past the halfway point of this Team Slayer, 32-27, as Neonic doing his best to stay alive. He's not able to. Icy picking up a double kill though. Still a 5-kill lead. This is still winnable, but once you get to that 30-point mark, it really becomes very tough to give up any deaths, especially at a higher level match like this. And especially when you're having what Flippers down is doing, which I guess their fly on the wall was working for Centennials. They're very much sticking to that soar and 4 strategy. They're constantly rolling around in this 2 to 3 man wrecking ball and just blowing straight through every single individual member of Centennials that they find. And it's a really frustrating thing to play against as well, because invariably you're the one spawning out, and invariably you're spawning out into that wrecking ball. Miley Cyrus isn't going to save you though, because Flippers down keeps up the pressure, and I really appreciate the fact they're not holding back. They're not going to be like, oh, let's take it easy, let's not get average. Like, no, damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. It's 43-33 now.
I actually agree with what you're saying. I don't agree with the number, though. You called it 30. I call it the 35 mark, where once you hit 35 and you're not very close, you see exactly what happens. The desperation starts to hit in. You start questioning what you should do. Comms are probably getting a little bit, like, tilted or just confused because people are all trying to communicate. And instantaneously, Flippers down is able to absolutely isolate you and being able to punish you for your desperation. And you saw that earlier with the push into C. No, this is B, I think. I can't remember the points 100%. But like they ran in the courtyard and just wiped out everyone in in PD. It was just just a consistent just moving forward. They have all of the confidence. They know they can actually sacrifice some lives. Centennials cannot.
Absolutely, and that especially as that wrecking ball extends the lead further and further and further, you start to get, I wouldn't say overconfident, but you start to feel like you can just throw some bodies at the problem. And if you're working together well as a team, it becomes really hard for Centennials or for whoever else is facing that wrecking ball uh, to break it. Because yes, if it's just a one-on-one, it's a 50-50, if not better chance that you will survive. But oh wow, as we're yapping about this, all 4 dead for Flippers down. Centennials, I guess, found the key and stopped the wrecking ball from doing much more. It's 46 to 43 currently. Camo is about to come up in 3 seconds. This next camo is going to be crucial, and Centennials, they're going to want it bad. Flippers down is staying back within C and just watching that camouflage like a hawk. They don't want Centennials getting it. And you can see here on the observer mode, they're all around C, and 2 of them in particular are holding down bottom C. You can see Zombie as well down at bottom B stairs, and I'm hoping Centennials will know enough to check down there, but I don't think that they are. Flygen was edging towards it. He's shrouded the camouflage, but there was no one in position from Centennials to actually pick it up. And it looks like Flippers down got away with it. And that shroud enabled Flippers down to get the camouflage, and just like that, 45 map, they would always still spawn on their side of the map. It wouldn't flip the map the way that it does normally with those spawns. That has since been fixed. It behaves more normal as far as that goes. And Icy, with the sniper rifle, unfortunately going off the map. Mind the gap, says the metal, as Neonic picks up the kill and avenges the death. But off this opening break, Flippers down were able to get the rockets. They were able to kill Centennial's sniper. And Walrus Boots is returning the flag. Remember, Centennials did get into the Flippers down base and get a pole, but the flagpole ended up not really going anywhere. And this is definitely a map that will punish you for ill-considered flag runs. You can't just force a flagpole, if that makes sense. You cannot just will it into being, but you can will 3 down for Flippers down, as Zombie is the last one with the noob combo, gets the kill on Concise. And I will say Zombie played that well. He didn't try and force an engagement. He just sort of was sitting around waiting, lurking in the weeds for a member of Centennials who wasn't paying attention, and picked that up pretty easily.
I would say, and I think I heard this from a coach from when I used, like, I never played on the team, but I would be around, so I'd hear it. Like, the number one thing that you can, like, give to your teammates is your life. Your body and your shots matter, and if you're wasting them needlessly, you're just screwing your team over. There's no other way to describe it. So excellent play from Zombie, being able to just get 1 kill, get some information, step back, don't force a fight that you're not going to win, and to be able to keep them at bay because you confuse them now.
Absolutely. That you got to play your life in every situation that you possibly can. The longer you can stay alive, generally, the better it is for your team. Now we hop on board, though, with Centennials, as they are taking the lives from Flippers down, but not without cost from that nice stick. Limbo and Fragment System now, Flippers down, trying to hold down green as these rockets are about to come up. Neonic being forced to back up. And the rockets are now in the hand of Slimbo. Flippers down. Let's see what he can do with these as he shoots one down, long haul, long range pucket rocket. Runs into the plasminate and gets instant detonated. That is very unfortunate. Icy now on board from Centennials. Takes down Walrus Boots at training. And now, Centennials actually in a pretty good position. And I'm assuming they got the rockets in hand. But Icy has had to go all the way back now in order to deal with Fragmentism over on his side of the map, and Fragmentism making the smart play, even though he wasn't able to win that 1v1, throwing the sniper rifle off the map and just being a total nuisance and depriving Centennials of that power weapon. That one play, like you said, the life is the most important thing you can give to your team. With his life, Fragmentism delivered a break on Centennials' push and took away their sniper rifle. Can't ask for much more.
I mean, even if someone just instantly gets domed, like, your life is important because it's allowing other teammates to not get shot at, to have the ability to have game impact. So that's just some of the things that people may not think when you're playing a ranked game. But like, if you can, like, you know, get a kill, like how OJ Fragmentism able to get, he allows his teammates to come in and potentially get a score.
No, potentially about it. There we go. Flipper's down first on the board from that amazing kill with the noob combo. Was quite sure he was going to die there. Now back on board with Centennials. We have Neonic here. Trying to make things happen. Looking for a player at Bridge 1. Does not find them. And I'm going to bet you they're over at Courtyard or S1. And there he is. Fragmentism with that combo again, but Neonic's going to get the better of him. You got to track down people like that and make sure they don't get to just free roam on your side of the map willy-nilly, especially when you have someone with a noob combo in hand that can really ruin your whole day. Now we have the overshield and rockets coming up here. Centennials trying to stop it. Walrus Boots going down, but believe... Yep, Flipper's down. Did get away with the rockets as Slimbo uses two of them to take down Concise. Neonic picking up the overshield and then taking down Zombie. But not before that overshield got absolutely melted. Now here we have Fragmentism over in Centennial's side of Sword. Goes down as I'm starting to pick up the hiccups just a little bit. That is unfortunate. Lygen, though, says, don't worry about the hiccups. I'm going to push in and pick up the kill on the first BR. I know Zombie's in Flipper's Down's flag. Let me see if I can find him. Sure enough, he does. Zombie's looking at cuts. Doesn't find him. But gets the sticky launch anyway. Whoops. You might need to step in for just a second, War Eagle.
The hiccups have become detrimental to Frenetic's ability to cast, it seems, as Fragmentism starts to move forward, immediately gets knocked down by Concise, and it is just a battle for Flipper's Down's flag as Concise starts running it down through long haul, but doesn't get too far. That's just the unfortunate reality. But this is where exactly I was saying pre-game. This is the potential for Centennials to get a flag. It's very difficult, but Walrus Boots with the flank being able to take him out and be able to potentially get the return on the flag.
Yeah, and that flag, I think I'm okay now, but that flag was kind of a desperate one out of Centennials. They were 2 down when they ran it, and they ended up going 2 down again, even as it got to their side of the map. And because they were down so many people, they weren't able to watch that flank from training. They weren't able to prevent Walrus Boots from coming in there. And if they had just had somebody who was able to look over, not even necessarily pick up the kill, but at least fight Walrus Boots and keep them from doing too much, they may have not have scored immediately, but they would have been in a much better position to try. Now, though, we have another cycle of power weapons coming up. Rockets are now in the hands of, it looks like, Concise, and I think also Centennials has hold of the overshield. Yep, there it is at Bridge 1 as Icy picks up 1 kill. His teammate picks up a second. Rockets going for the player in Needler. 3 down now for Flipper's Down temporarily. And this would be the time as they're all spawning up and away. You want that overshield guy to get into the enemy flag Nice play from Icy to take down Walrus Boots, but right now, because of the length of time that was taken, they needed to kind of slay out more and maybe not play the flag so hard, and that ends up breaking their push. Kind of unfortunate because they were in a really fantastic position.
Yeah, it's just the unfortunate reality of timing and just the like when you were in a game, sometimes you make decisions that aren't the best when you think of it, and it's outside of like in a macro level. But overall, like it was the best that they could possibly do. Maybe could have done a little bit better with grabbing the flag and starting to rush it. But I mean, you're kind of stuck. The respawn timers are against you, so you just gotta do what you can. Like, you are 3 minutes away from getting knocked out of this series right now, and you gotta get a flag. At a minimum one, take it in overtime. Like, you cannot. Time is against you right now.
It is, and the timing issue can that G slide once again making me feel old, but the timing of things can make or break even the best of pushes, and especially break them. And you want to talk about running a flag in certain situations. Sometimes you are able to get a good flag run even when the other team is all 3 up, all live, and your team's maybe 2-3 down. If the timing of it is such that you're pulling that flag as they're spawning across map and don't have a good angle on you, you can get away with that flag run. But at the same time, if you're not watching your own bag, as Flygen causes Pragmatism, I believe that was, to do a backflip, if you're not watching your own flank and keeping those side approaches secure, as I throw out random buzzwords, you're going to have a real big problem even if you have 2-3 down on the enemy team. Nice double kill, though, out of Icy. They're definitely looking to get into this flag here, and I would say now is the time. Even with Zombie picking up the overshield, this is their time. They need to get this flag across the 50 as fast as possible, and I would also argue if they could potentially get noob combo or maybe even a stick onto the overshield carrier, that would be the ideal. And they were able to do that, but unfortunately, they waited, like I said, a little bit too long on the timing of pulling that flag. And not only because of the overshield grab by Flippers Down, but also because they waited a little bit too long, Flippers Down was able to spawn up and make a defensive stand around that overshield. And now Centennials are really up against the wall. They have 1 minute left in regulation time.
1 minute remaining.
Now with Neonic on our board, though, this guy has been the spearhead for a lot of Centennials pushes. Goes down, unfortunately. All down for Centennials. As I was trying to think of something to say, but Zombie leading the charge for Flippers Down, leading the whole lobby with 25 kills. And you'll notice something too. Flippers Down actually, they're not being outslayed by a lot, but they are being outslayed by Centennials. But it comes down to just the timing of some of those pushes from Centennials. It kind of feels like they are constantly not in the right position. And right here, I'm not sure what Icy was waiting on there. He needed to have that flag moving. I'm not sure what he was looking for. And
to be honest,
although
sometimes it's just a matter of you're desperate. You're not thinking straight. You're just going in. Finally, Flipper almost a save by the sniper from Flygen, but nope, that was